everybody. Good afternoon. How are you? It is a lovely day here in Oregon. It is raining today. It's been raining all day. It was raining last night. It's just typical Oregon weather. It's just rain and cold and wet. Perfect weather if you're a duck. Not so much if you're a person, but still, it ain't bad. So, how are you? How are you doing? I'm over here just inside, just staying dry. I was outside a few minutes ago and sitting there and thinking before the rain started, thinking about my content, thinking about my channel. Uh, as you all know, Chantal, she's slowing down a lot. She's not posting as much. I'm kind of confused about that. She was off of work for a week due to a strike, so she missed out on a week's worth of money. And you would think that when she would get back to Canada, she would hit the ground running and just doing absolutely everything in her power to make money. Uh, in the past, that's what she would do. If she missed a few days of work, as soon as she came back, she would hit the ground running and off she would go. She would come up with a new arc and then just be all kinds of dramatic and just put her foot to the gas pedal, and none of us who are reactors would get any rest. But she's not been doing that, has she? She's been rather lackadaisy with her content. She's back in Canada now after being in Kuwait, and the content has been more than lackluster. It's been rather shabby, kind of phoning it in, not doing much, which leads me to believe that for the longest, Chantal's not been really depending on YouTube for money. If you want my opinion, I think that Chantal has a great deal of feeders in her back pocket, has had quite a few in her back pocket for the longest. And whatever it is that they're giving her, it's enough that she can stay off YouTube for a while. Chantal's a lazy individual. If she can get money one way versus the other and not have to work, she'll take it. And if she's getting money from another source, then she's going to look at YouTube and say, screw YouTube. I don't have to make a video today, so I won't. So she gets lazy. She's depending on this other form of income. And she's just, in my opinion, using YouTube as a portal to get in front of those feedy people and get their attention, get them to know about her, get on YouTube just long enough to do a stream or a video where she passes out her Instagram and her email and her PayPal. Once they have access to that, then she just waits for them to contact her. And then she does content off of YouTube that none of us are ever going to know about. And she gets 100% of the money right away versus waiting for her YouTube paycheck. So that's just how I feel about it. But going back to my content, I just got to thinking about what I want to do with my channel. I've been looking around all over YouTube. And back in the day, it used to be just a lot of your typical garden variety lolcows. You know, people who acted a little bit badly, but they weren't too terribly bad. The things they did were interesting, amusing, weird, maybe a little gross. But more and more, it seems like YouTube is being infiltrated by abusive lolcows. There's a lot of them going on right now. And more are popping up. And that's made me stop and think for a minute. Really stop and think. As you guys know, I'm someone I've been through DV. And abuse can take many forms. It can be mental, emotional, physical, psychological. Usually the people who are the victims of that abuse, they suffer in silence because they feel embarrassed, or they have no one to talk to, or they have nowhere to go. You know, and a victim could be male or female, or abuse. It's not just classified as one gender or one sexual identity. It can happen anywhere to anybody. So I'm thinking about these abusive people on YouTube, very abusive. And it's time to put the spotlight on some of them. It's really time. I know a lot of people are getting into Naked and Laughing. She's extremely toxic, dark energy. A lot of people are watching her because they started off watching Chantal, and Chantal's gotten rather boring. She's not doing anything. And the feeling is that she's run out of gas. She doesn't know what to do with her content. She's very unhealthy, so she doesn't have the energy that she used to make things interesting. So everybody's interest is going to different places, and Naked and Laughing is one such source. Although Naked and Laughing is really, really dark. There's one person that I'm doing research on right now. I came to know of this person because of a viral video that happened that is all over YouTube. And this individual was in a car being abusive to another person. And I wanted to cover that video. So I was looking into their background, and my goodness, it is one deep, dark rabbit hole. This individual is very similar to Naked and Laughing. To compare, if Naked and Laughing had someone around that had a lot of money, it would be this individual. But looking into their background, my goodness, the different toxic layers going on there, it's insane. I was doing some more research today, and I'm like, my God, this woman is out there, and she's horrible. And like I said, there's more people like that on YouTube. They get on YouTube, and they're not just being dramatic. They're being straight up abusive to people that they include in their live streams, to people who watch their live streams or their videos, to the audience. Instead of being ashamed of what they do, them being on social media is just prompting them to become more abusive, to get more attention, to get more views. And that's wrong. It's wrong to use abuse as a way to get people to watch you and to get paid. So while I was outside, I was thinking, it's time to put the spotlight on these toxic cockroaches. Shine the light on them to where they don't feel so comfortable being the way that they are. And also by putting the spotlight on some of them, maybe there's a chance that someone watching one of my videos, one of my reacts, maybe they might be involved in an abusive relationship of one type or another. They will recognize some of the things going on and say to themselves, yes, I am in an abusive relationship and I need to get out. And they won't suffer in silence anymore. No one should suffer at all. Not in silence, not out of silence, but just no one should suffer at the hands of another unnecessarily. Sometimes it takes looking at abuse to understand what it is and what it looks like and what it sounds like. So that's the direction that I'm going to take my channel. I've already got a few people that I'm looking at. This viral video from this person is on the top of my list. There's also people like Crystal Station that I'm also checking into. I mean, I'm just going to go for it, because there's too many people on YouTube that are getting far too comfortable with getting on YouTube, getting on these forums on social media, and being abusive and thinking that's perfectly okay. It's not okay. It's not okay to hurt yourself. It's not okay to hurt another. It's not okay to use a forum to be mean to people, to be verbally abusive. It's not okay. So why not put the spotlight on them and showcase them and just show those who might be interested what a toxic relationship is, what abuse is. And anybody out there who might be involved in something and you just never thought about what's going on with you before, it might make you stop and think. And if there's any kind of abuse going on, put a stop to it. You know, again, abuse victims, they suffer in silence. Often it's about embarrassment, it's about fear, it's about intimidation. No one should suffer. No one. And if you are suffering and at the hands of another, you should get away from that person, because the damage that they do goes deeper than you could possibly imagine. Sometimes the damage that the abusers do to you, it can last for years. It can, if they're damaging your mind, if they're damaging your emotions, if they damage your spirit, that takes a long time to heal. If they're damaging you physically, that can take some time to heal as well. So I'm going to do some further research on these individuals, and I'm going to start including those people in with my content. But for now, we're covering Chantal, because in my opinion, Chantal, she started off being your regular garden variety lolcow. She got on YouTube long ago and started acting a little bit badly, like acting a little bit out of pocket. And then all the attention and all the money, it prompted her to become more and more out of pocket, to where she was being abusive to people online, people offline, people in her personal life, and running around thinking that there's no consequences she has to pay and nothing she has to answer for. And now she's arrived at a place where she put herself in a corner and there's really no way out. And that's all by her choosing. And that's really her karma, if you want to know. So Chantal did a video with her aunt making pizza, but I'm going to give my thoughts on the video. Chantal, she started off being a regular lolcow, but she came on YouTube and she decided, I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going to do self-harm content for the purpose of making money. Her doing mukbangs, I'm sorry, y'all, that is self-harm content. You got an issue with food, you're over there eating thousands and thousands of calories, you are damaging your health, you're spiking your blood sugar to the point where you nearly go to the hospital. That is self-harm content. She's hurting herself and expecting to get compensated for that self-harm content. YouTube should be shutting that down. For some reason, they're not. But in the meantime, she continues to do it. And then she wants pity and sympathy for hurting herself. She comes online complaining about her health issues. I'm not going to give you sympathy, Chantal. You made a choice. You're making a choice. Every single time that you're eating that fast food, you are making a choice to hurt yourself. So if you're making that choice openly, willingly, freely, how can I feel sympathy for you? This is not something that somebody is doing to you. You're doing to yourself, mama. How can I feel sorry for you? I won't. I cannot feel sorry for somebody who hurts themselves. You made a choice. You're doing it to yourself. Can't feel sorry for you. And I'm certainly not going to feel sorry for someone who is abusive to people in her personal life. She's been hurtful and neglectful to her pets. And recently, she made another choice with scamming her own subs. The people that have been watching her for years, giving her the views, giving her the freedom to live her life the way she wants to. And she certainly does have freedom. She's on YouTube because of making money on YouTube. She can go where she wants. She's not locked into a certain work schedule. All she has to do is just make a few entertaining videos a week and she makes money. She's got more freedom with her life than some other people have with theirs. Other people who have to work very hard and they're making a little bit of money and then they have to go home and take care of responsibilities at the end of the day. Like, she's got that freedom and she's abusing the freedom. So if other people are giving you the freedom to live well, Chantal, and you're choosing not to live well, you're choosing to hurt yourself, no sympathy. Everything you do is by choice. So just as you choose to hurt yourself, I choose not to give you the sympathy that you don't deserve. I will have sympathy and compassion for people that deserve it, that they've just gone through things in life and they're just having a hard time, and they just need a helping hand or a hand up or a friendly word to get them back on the right path. You know where the right path is. You just don't want to walk on it, because walking on it means you would have to do an entire lifestyle change. At this point, you don't need a diet. A diet is not going to fix what's wrong with you. You need a heck of a lot more. The corruption and the damage runs deep with you. There's through every single layer. And you need help, professional help, to get through all those layers and fix you. You need to surrender to the universe and say, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm out of control. I'm impulsive. You are aware of the things that are wrong with you and you don't want to fix it. So you are choosing to be in pain. You are choosing to live with your suffering when you don't have to. You are making a choice. So since you're making that choice, I'm going to react to you and I'm going to give you my thoughts. As someone that I live a life where I make choices to where I can live happy and healthy. And I'm looking at you, and you're someone that you're choosing to be in pain and suffering. Whatever the pain and suffering is, it's not great enough. It's not severe enough that it's prompting you to change. You want to sit in your little hole and throw yourself a little pity party and suffer? Fine. You decide to do that and make content on YouTube and put it out in front of the public. Well, guess what? I'm part of the public. And I'm free to have my opinion. And so I'm going to. Now, if you change your life, you wake all the way up and you decide you want to fix yourself and make positive change and then put that content on YouTube, I will praise you for those positive changes. I'll give you credit where credit is due. But until then, while you're making those bad choices, I'm going to rake you over the coals for them because your life is ridiculous. And that's just how I feel. So just letting you guys know what's going on here, that I'm going to be including new people in with my content. Like, I'm going to put a spotlight on some of the abusive people on YouTube that need to be called all the way out. It's time. So let's get into the Chantal content while we're here. Let's go straight to Twitter. We're going to cover some of the Twitter stuff because there's really great people on Twitter with really great opinions about things about Chantal. And I'm going to show you guys some really positive stuff as well. So let's start here with Julie. This, I guess, is from the new video that Chantal put out, which I'm going to react to. Julie says, what are you on about? You said you were coming back to Canada for your health. Now it's a completely different story because you miss your family that you never seen pre-Kuwait era. You're a dumb liar. Chantal doesn't care about her family. If she cared about her family, she would not have gone to Kuwait in the first place. She would have stayed in Canada and got her life together. Just mended fences with the family, because the family, for many years, they've been embarrassed by Chantal. Absolutely embarrassed by her. Her antics on YouTube, I'm sure, have been humiliating and embarrassing to the family name. She doesn't care. She's never cared about her family. I don't think she's close with her family at all, to the point where they distance themselves away from her as much as they can just to have a molecule of peace. But here is some of the transcripts, I guess, from the new video. Uh, this is from like this is the transcripts of the conversation. Things about your first home that you miss and probably always will. It's like a tug of war. Oh God, spare me the dramatics. It all comes down to both countries have pros and cons. My husband. The thing is, can we stop? Can we stop there? Chantal, you are a tourist in Kuwait at best. You never lived over there. In essence, you squatted in Kuwait. You weren't supposed to be there that long, but you kept going back and going back and going back, but you are never going to be a permanent resident. You're not. You're just visiting there. And this, because you're not a permanent resident and you never can be a permanent resident, you will always be a tourist. You've just been essentially been hiding out in Kuwait because you don't want Mr. Taxman to find you. I mean, let's be real. Let's put it on the table. You got a crap ton of taxes in Canada, and you think that by running back and forth to Kuwait that they can't get you. Can I let you know? There's a Canadian embassy in Kuwait. Did you know that? You probably do know that. So running to Kuwait, you think they can't find you? They can. Trust me, they can. You owe what, about 50, 60 grand in taxes? Probably more because you're not paying your taxes this year either. So the numbers probably jumped up. I don't know if you paid your taxes at all, maybe a little bits at a time, but I'm pretty sure that they're not all paid off. Here's the ridiculous thing. Back in the Natter era, when you were making all that money, girlfriend, whatever taxes you owed, you could have paid it off then. You made a choice not to. All the money you were making with Natter, you could have paid off those taxes. You could have paid off the Kia. Not had to sweat the tax man at all. Let's see. She goes on to say, my cat, my hamster are my immediate family. Oh, God. They're not your immediate family. You don't care about Harry the hamster. You don't care about Julia. If you cared about Julia, you would have taken her to the vet and gotten her fixed. You'd brush out her fur to where she's not matted. You would have got her nails clipped. Why do you say the opposite of what you mean? You didn't care about your pets. They were just simply living beings that you exploited for views. As a matter of fact, and I'm going to bring this one out of the vault, you got Harry the hamster not because you really wanted him, but because you were on YouTube and you saw how different channels had these different, like a hamster cam or a pet cam, and you thought, why can't I get a hamster? And I'll put the camera on him 24/7. You even said so during a live stream. You said, I'm going to do like a hamster cam. What happened to that idea? You just decided against it? Too much work? Couldn't do it? But that was the original reason why you got Harry the hamster. So you got Harry the hamster with the intention of exploiting that poor little thing for money. And the reason why you got Julia is because she looked a lot like BBJ. I mean, come on now. You knew that would trigger people. You know that it makes people angry over the fact that you've got pets at all. You're someone that you shouldn't have a pet, period. You had 2 cats in Canada that were greatly neglected, that often went without food. The litter boxes weren't changed for months. Little BBJ was running around with embedded nails in her toe pads and kidney problems, dirty ears, infected ears, malnourished, matted fur, all that. And what did you do? You're going to go to Canada and prove that you're still a neglectful owner. You didn't redeem yourself. You just made the situation worse. So you don't miss the animals. What you miss is a space where Mr. Taxman can't find you. And you know you screwed yourself by leaving Canada. When you left Canada, when you left the villa behind and Pete's behind, You don't have the money to get a place in Canada. You do not have it. You don't have the $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 it would take to get into a new place. You got bad credit. You got bankruptcies on your record. That's why it's hard for you to find a place. That's why you latched on to Pete's the first time when you were in Canada. You latched on to Pete's because he had the good credit. He had the good job. He put his name on the dotted line for the villa. You latched on to him because you could not get a place on your own. And now that you've come back to Canada, feels like Pete doesn't want to leave the place where he's at and move in with you. Maybe because when you left to go to Kuwait, you left him to foot the bill for all the damages to the villa. And I'm sure there were damages that he was billed. All the moving out of the garbage, the extra furniture. Somebody's got to pay for that. What about the broken tile in the kitchen? Somebody's got to pay for that too. What about the repaint? What about the carpet that has to be replaced? The cats peed and pooed on the carpet because they couldn't use the litter box. The carpet's got to be pulled up, the padding underneath, because, urine does soak in and you can't leave it like that. Like, how much money was Pete's on the hook for all the damages that you caused? They weren't in your name. You ain't got to worry about them. But you expect him to leave his place and move in with you now? I could be wrong, but I don't think he's that stupid. If he's still paying on damages to the villa, he can't afford to move into another place with you. That's why you want to go back to Kuwait, because you can't afford to live in Canada no more. You don't got that kind of money. You're not working. You're not making money. And if you came back to Canada thinking somebody's going to lend you money, like your family, like Pete's, ain't nobody got it to give you. That's obvious. I miss the Middle Eastern culture. Girl, you are holed up and isolated away from everybody. What do you mean? What do you mean? You stayed away from people in the Middle East. You did not make friends. You didn't have a social circle. You were there for a year. You weren't talking to anybody. You did the exact same thing in Kuwait that you did in Canada. You found a room. You holed yourself up in it. You did your mukbangs. You stayed away from people. It's funny how you call yourself a public figure. At the same time, you avoid the public, except online. And the only reason why you're comfortable with coming online and putting yourself in front of the public is because you don't have to face anybody. You don't have to physically look at anybody. You don't like real life interaction. You feel embarrassed and you feel awkward with yourself. And yet, instead of fixing those things that are wrong to where you feel less awkward and less embarrassed, you just want to just let go and make the situation worse. I miss the Middle Eastern culture. I know the heat in the summer is bad, but I will bear it. You weren't bearing it the last time. You stayed inside. And you know what? If you were to go back to Kuwait, Chantal, I know exactly how it would go. You'd be staying in the apartment because outside is going to be like 120, 130 degrees. You can't take the heat. You just can't. You got to have that AC. But the last summer, you spent inside, which means you're going to be in that room doing more mukbangs, gaining more weight. Every time we see you on camera, you are literally getting bigger in front of us. And no, I'm not being a fat shamer saying that, and that's just facts. To maintain 500 pounds, Chantal has to eat 5,000 to 6,000 calories minimum a day. Now, if she did a calorie deficit where she was eating, say, 2,000 calories a day without any exercise, I feel like she would just drop weight like crazy. Okay, because that's a calorie deficit. If she took it down to, say, 2,000 calories, which is about the normal intake for somebody who's 5 feet tall, she would start to drop weight. If 6,000 calories, she's maintaining 500 pounds. If you eat more than that, you're gaining weight. I think Chantal's eating like 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 calories a day. So let's break it down. It takes 3,500 calories to make 1 pound of fat. If she's eating, say, 7,000 calories a day with no activity, she's gaining between 1 to 2 pounds a day every day. She's literally gaining weight every single day. You come out on camera, Chantal, you're looking bigger and bigger and bigger. One more summer in Kuwait, you're going to be bedbound. Not bed rotting, bedbound. It all comes down to having to pick a place and sticking with it. And I truly, in the deepest crevices of my heart, want and need to be with my family in Kuwait. You don't have a family in Kuwait. You've got 2 pets that you're severely neglectful for, and Salah does not want you. He's happiest when you're not there. I'm sure he's happy right now without you. Maybe he doesn't want you to come back to Kuwait because he knows how close to death you really are. And he doesn't want any medical emergency to happen in Kuwait, and then he has to deal with it. He knows what a problem you are. He knows what a burden you are right now. He knows how dangerous things are right now. You want to be next to him, but health-wise, you can't afford to keep flying back and forth, Chantal. You can't. You absolutely cannot. You've been running around thinking you can do whatever you want, say whatever you want, eat whatever you want. Your body will put up with it. Well, your body is breaking down. It is severely sick, and it's saying, we can't take any more. Please stop. You've got to stop, Chantal. Because I'll tell you what, I'm looking around you right now. I don't see a single person in your life that would be happy to be your caretaker, to give you the meals in bed, to give you a bath in bed, check for bed sores, help you to the bathroom, help you get dressed. There's not a single person in your world that will be happy to take that role on, because being a caretaker is a very intense job. For you, it will be 24/7. I can't think of a single person around you that would take that on and be able to deal with it. At your size, it would take more than one person to be your caretaker, to roll you around in bed and give you a bath, to lift you up. At 500 pounds, you would need a couple of bodybuilders to escort you around and not break their back. So there's the transcript, y'all. Let's keep moving. Okay. So this is from Barbecue Chicken saying, what in the world is this thumbnail? Yeah, what exactly is it? This is her thumbnail right here. It's her thumbnail. Miss, I'm coming back to Canada to take care of my health. Does this look like a healthy thumbnail? Does this look like the thumbnail of somebody who's trying to get healthy? Chantal has said that pizza is one of her trigger foods. So not only are you eating your trigger food, which is bad enough, you're going to get on YouTube and show your trigger food. This is straight up for the food fetish people. This is to get their attention. You are signaling them, hey, I'm about to eat this food. You are signaling all the feedy people on YouTube to come and join your channel and watch that video. You're capitalizing on what's wrong with you versus treating it. You know, you having an issue with food, you're not even doing it off camera where it hurts only you. You're coming on YouTube and you're spotlighting it and triggering the crap out of other people who might have EDs. This is wrong. This is wrong. Okay, Mr. Michael B. Petty says, I love when the girls get new planners and journals. What on earth do they have going on in their lives that would require them to even need a planner? You know what I think this is? This is a callback to Amberlynn Reed. She and Amberlynn Reed are very, very similar. And Chantal is someone that she likes to ride piggyback off of other people's content and ideas. She goes on TikTok looking for things that are viral. And she thinks she can capitalize on a trend. So Amberlynn Reed is known for getting journals and writing in journals. And I guess now Chantal's going to do the same. Well, this will be short-lived. She's never going to keep up with this journal idea. Not at all. But you're right, Mr. Petty. What is she going to put in that journal? Not much. Yup Yup says, anyone else notice how Foodie Beauty hasn't complained once about her sky Attica since being in Canada, even after a long flight, filming for up to an hour in her car and being in a hospital? But in Kuwait, it seems strangely severe. How could that be? Well, because it's sciatica. She lied about it. I'm sure her back hurts. Her back has got to be screaming with all the extra hundreds of pounds in front of her and is trying to balance it. But yeah, no complaints, huh? It's strange how that sciatica is just selective. Just like her dragging her foot is also selective. Weird, huh? Okay, some palate cleanser from Butenbegen. Look at the mama cat. The mama cat's like, I dare you. Like, give me a reason. Give me a reason. You will not touch my child. I dare you to make a move. Look at that stare. I'm a cat mama, and cats have their own way of speaking to you. Sometimes they do it with the meows, the different kinds of meows they do. Sometimes by the swishing of the tail. Sometimes it's with the ears. If you ever want to know how a cat is feeling, look at their ears. When their ears are facing forward like this, they're usually happy. But when they go back like that means they're either playing or they are concerned or annoyed. And look at this mama. Her ears are not moving. Like her ears are just straight up, like almost like in a V shape. She's like, I'm looking at you. Don't hurt my kid. Like you make one move and you're going to get a paw in the face. Oh no. Failure to lunch. You're taking me out, failure. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. This needs to be made into a membership sticker. Failure to lunch says, I can't believe there's an emoji of a bald Foodie Beauty sucking on that green peen. It's the best thing I've ever seen. Oh, no. No. Now that you pointed it out, now I do see it. And now I can't unsee it. Evil Twitter. Evil. Burgundy Rose says, it is her habitual lying and BS scams that get me riled. I seriously wonder, from all her physical, mental, and spiritual damage she has piled upon her body, that her brain actually functions correctly. Yes, she is a negative stereotype of an overweight people. She doesn't give two Fs. Can I just speak on that for a minute? Chantal likes to talk about fat phobia and fat shaming. And there is a negative stereotype, a picture, if you will, the perception of people who are overweight, those who may be true fat shamers or fat phobic, may have this negative picture of somebody who's overweight. They smell, they're dirty, they're sloppy, they're disgusting. And Chantal's an overweight woman. She's super mortally obese. And she is not doing what she can to show that stereotype does not apply. If anything, she's backing it up. She's absolutely backing it up. She's embodying all of these negative traits when she doesn't have to. There's a lot of people in the world who are overweight or obese that they're not the way she is. They are not disgusting. They are not smelly. They're not dirty. Some people who are overweight, it might be because something happened to them and they can't exercise and they can't get the weight off. And that's the reason why they're overweight. It could be a medical condition. It could be something mental or emotional going on. You never know what's going on with a person. When you look at them physically, you can't see what's going on inside of them. And so it's always good to approach somebody with a sense of understanding and compassion, because you can't just tell by looking at a person physically what their story is, where they come from, what they've been through. There might be much more than you know. But you've got Chantal, and the negative stereotype that exists out there for those who are overweight or obese, she's backing it up and she's reinforcing it. All those negative thoughts and perceptions. And the shame is she's got her channel. She got a 100K channel now, and she could go the other way. She could go on a health journey and she could fix herself. And everybody loves an underdog. She could be like an underdog and go, and you know what? Screw the feeders. I'm going to go on a health journey and I'm going to fix myself as much as I can. I may not be able to undo all the damage, but I'm going to undo as much as I can because doggone it, I want to live. I want to go out and I want to live. I want to be able to walk again. I want to be able to go and shop again for clothes that actually fit. I'm going to have a glow up moment. In the condition that she's in, that journey would last at least a few years because she's got quite a bit of weight she needs to lose and a lot of work she's got to do. But in the meantime, she's settled into being that negative stereotype of what people think overweight people are. And I'd like to remind everybody, like, if you see somebody who's overweight or obese, you don't know what their story is. You don't know what they've been through. Something might have happened to them in their life, medical, emotional, mental. All of us, we should all approach another person with a sense of compassion and understanding rather than judgment. Because not everybody is like Chantal. Chantal's she's a freak of nature. Florida Salt and Sass says the only part of Chantal being fat that makes me dislike her is that she reinforces every gross and lazy, false, negative stereotype out there about overweight people. Yes to all of that. Most obese, overweight people are not like the stereotypes at all. True. I have met many people that were overweight. They carried themselves well. They dress well. They take showers. They're clean. They're educated. They're smart. You know, they carry themselves like kings and queens. Chantal is just, you guys want my opinion? I think Chantal is very ugly inside. And the outside is now mirroring what's going on inside. Like her ugliness is seeping outward. It's been the process of doing that. And I don't mean the shape of her body. It's just that aura she has, that energy. It's just ugly. The ugliness inside of her is so bad that she could walk into a Sephora, eat every bit of makeup in the place, and it still wouldn't fix her ugly. The ugliness that you have outside of you is not as bad as, say, the ugliness that might be inside of you. The ugly inside, that kind of ugly takes years sometimes to fix. And that's if you want to fix it, which she doesn't. She thinks she's perfectly fine. How about something interesting from Science Girl? Okay, they're harvesting rock honey. So I guess this is bees that do their hives and stuff on the side of a cliff. Well, that's a dangerous job. I wonder how the honey tastes. But what a dangerous job, all those bees. Okay, Julie says, let me get this straight, talking about Chantal. You're in Canada. You could be making different content. You can actually leave the house, have a car. People have questions for you. But instead of taking this opportunity to try and make some money, you decide to go missing in action. Yeah, like she's back in Canada. She can do whatever she wants. She's not. She keeps showing herself in her car. Why not rent a motel room for a few days and bees her heart out? Like, why can't she do that? I don't know. That would be the smart thing to do, but she's not doing it. Okay, Judge Judy says, Foodie Beauty when she gets that airspace restriction news. So for those who do not know, right now, because of things going on in the Middle East, the airspace has been restricted. What that means for Chantal is that she can't fly back there, even if she wanted to. Even if she had a plane ticket, she still can't go back. So she is, for the moment, stuck in Canada. And who knows how long it's going to last. And now this is lovely. From Amazing Eyes, the moon in Norway. That's stunning. What a beautiful photo. Perfectly timed. It looks like a wolf howling at the moon. Beautiful. Oh, doggone it. I hate when I do that. Let's go back. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Ah, from Violet. What is this cake and where can I get a slice? Y'all, look at that cake. Who wants a piece? I want a piece. That looks ooey and gooey and just lovely. It looks delicious. Whoever made this cake, well done. Fondue Pondu, Foodie Beauty, quote, tipping culture is out of control. You shouldn't get a tip for just doing your job. Chantal 2024. Uh, Also from Chantal, we entertain your butts. 2024. You give nothing to this world. F off. Hidden Truth says, Foodie Beauty, the way Chantal went about it is the issue here with the PayPal thing. Her VIBs did suggest her using it as a way to help with her new place as a friendly gesture. This is her light bulb she thought of, and now that she deleted posts, she took advantage of them. So I was alerted by some of you in the comments that since I didn't go all the way to the end with Chantal's video, I missed some of her video, and I apologize for that. I didn't know she was going to say all of this, but we'll cover it now. So what Chantal has to say.
You know, so many creators have some kind of link to a donation site, like a PayPal, Cash App, whatever. You know, we entertain your butts. Like we should get paid. We should get money.
Hold the phone, shut the window, and shut the door. Oh, I got some stuff to say to you, Miss Mama. Are you ready? If not, it don't matter, because I am ready. Do a lot of content creators have links to PayPal or Venmo or Cash App linked to their channel? Or they put them up on their live streams? Yeah, but do we push them hard like you do? No, they're just there. We put them up and then we just don't talk about them. We don't push them, nothing. They're just there. You, on the other hand, you got in your community post pushing the crap out of your links, pointing them out. Then you get on your live stream and do the same thing. Like anything you guys can send is fine. And let's talk about that comment about we entertain your butts. This is where I'm going to course correct you. You don't entertain anybody. You don't even entertain your own subs. You put up the content. You want to know who entertains people? The people who react to you. Because we got to take your boring, bland content and find some way to make it entertaining. Whether it's adding funny clips or funny videos with humor, with wit, with intelligence, we entertain people. We do. All you do is sit down in front of a camera and eat a meal, film it, and then upload it. That's not entertaining. Watch somebody shove 7,000 calories in their mouth is not entertaining. The only people that find that entertaining are the people that have the food fetish. And by the way, those are the people that are unaliving you because they're promoting that fetish to you and paying you for it. They're encouraging you to hurt your health for their benefit. And if something happens to you and you end up in the hospital or the morgue, they're just going to go run around on YouTube and find somebody else. They're all about getting their fetish fulfilled, and they don't care about you as a person. That's where you got it twisted. You think that people that are wanting you to do this fetish, they actually care about you? Nope. They care about their fetish and finding someone to fulfill it. When somebody approaches you and they want something out of you, they care about that thing that they want, but they don't necessarily have to care about you. But you don't entertain people. You haven't entertained people in a while. You were on your channel, you let your channel reach a certain point, and then you figured out after that certain point, oh, I can get a certain income if I do a certain amount of videos. You estimated how much each video would make. And then once you got that to that comfortable number, that's when you just threw your hands up and gave up and said, I don't have to try anymore. I can make this certain income every month. That's enough to pay my bills and pay my rent. I don't even have to try. You got way too comfortable, Big Mama. But the problem is you eat your paycheck. You eat your way through your paycheck. You got nothing in savings. You got your car isn't paid off. You got your bankruptcies, all of that. And hey, that's your personal problems, not mine. But you don't entertain people. And even those who entertain people, we do not feel entitled the way that you do to other people's money. We are not, there's no entitlement over here. There's entitlement with you, though. Don't get it twisted. Don't do the what about isms when it comes between yourself and the people who react to you. There's a real big difference there. You feel entitled to everything and you're entitled to nothing. Nothing. Even if you put out entertaining videos, you're still not entitled to people's money. You're not.
And, there's no shame in that. Like, it's not like I rely on PayPal donations.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do. I don't rely on PayPal donations. Okay. If that's true, then why don't you get back the donos that you got from people? You said you got $37. I don't believe that crap. I really don't. I don't believe it's $37. I think maybe it was $370. She got a lot more than what she's letting on. Listen, she's an addict. And whenever someone who might be an addict, if you ask them a question like, say, how many drinks did you have today? They will always cut the number in half to make it seem like they didn't do as much. But if you double the number, you probably have the correct number. So Chantal is an addict. She even said so herself. So if she's over here telling us, I made $37, add a zero. She probably got $370 or more than that. More than. But if you don't rely on PayPal donations, and if you got money to help with your new place, Chantal, why not just refund those people? No questions asked. They shouldn't have to come to you to get that money back. If you are all about entertaining people and you're good at it, give the freaking money back. It's not yours. People did not give you money to eat fast food. They gave you money for a new place. And if you're not getting a new place, you should refund it. Period.
Yeah, so that's totally not the case. There's no scamming going on.
Oh, there was scamming going on, and you knew exactly what you were doing. You were bringing up all those things that people missed, saying, we're going to coffee bees, and I'm going to do all the stuff that I used to do now that I'm back in Canada. You were using nostalgia to scam people. You heard for months from your audience members the things that they missed about you. People that were saying, we miss you being in Canada, how much fun it used to be. You missed, people were saying, we miss these things. We miss the old Chantal. And you played that against people. And I hope that people that are beezers, a lot of them have woken all the way up and said, screw this broad. What am I supporting here? A liar, a manipulator, a scammer? I'm out. I really hope that they woke up.
Nothing of the sort.
Lies. They give the money back. If it's not a scam, give the money back. You're not going to give the money back. You told people you want the money back, ask for it. They shouldn't have to. So if you're not a scammer, give the money back without them asking. Failure to lunch says, ma'am, please look in a doggone mirror and take several seats. So I don't know who she's talking about here. If Foodie Beauty was ever psychoanalyzed, this is what this results would say. Okay, so let's watch.
You are textbook mean girl because you're jealous and insecure and you want to be everyone around you. And so you make up. You're like one of those weirdos who makes up to get friends, but nobody actually really ever likes you. I feel
she's just describing herself, wasn't she? She just straight up described herself. Chantal, I don't know who you were talking about, but you described yourself right there. That is so you. Oh, this is so cool from Nature is Amazing. Tortoise shells have nerve endings that are sensitive to the slightest touch. This tortoise at Badger Run Wildlife Rehab loves to feel her shell scratched. So a kind volunteer made her a scratching device. Uh, so the turtle's like, I'm gonna give myself a little back scratch. Even even turtles like the back scratcher. That's their version of a back scratcher right there. Look, she's just like, I got to get that itch right there. Good stuff. Good stuff. Nature is amazing. This is an amazing beach in Iran. Rainbow Island in Iran. Look at the sand. Red water and black and red sand. That looks surreal. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Oh, from Yog, look at the baby. She wants belly rubs. Play with her. I want to pick her up. Get her belly. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, and oh. So Chantal did a vlog where she said that the bag that she got was homemade. And of course, Twitter found the bag almost immediately. Perfectly Imperfect and Danielle Laura say, homemade, huh? Amazon, $9.99 plus shipping. So there's the bag, y'all. The bag was not homemade. She got it from Amazon. Homemade bag, please. Okay. Juanita Broderick says, absolutely. The most expensive vehicle to operate in 2023, 2024. Ain't that the truth? The grocery cart. Hey, no lies detected. Okay, what else we got here? All right. All right. Oh, things to do. Incredible strength of an alligator. Look, I used to live in Florida. Gators ain't no joke. Uh, you come from Florida. We have gators and we have mosquitoes as big as cars. Don't play with me. But this is a gator messing up that fence. Messing up that fence. Oh, no cats, no life. Look at the kitty. The kitty got into the cake. And the kitty's like, I regret nothing. And I would do it again if given the chance. Look, kitty done got into the cake. Saying like a decision was made and not regretted at all. Period. James Lucas, this beautiful picture of flowers in the desert. What a great picture. All right. Oh, from MASH. You know who you are, wink, wink. That would be a good chair for Foodie. That would replace the old office chair. Hey, Foodie, you need to get one of these in your life. Oh, boot and vegan. Even goats can be jerks. King of the mountain, I win. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, look at the puppy. Look at the eyes. How can you say no to those eyes? Precious. Okay, filter fail from Ghost Crab. Look at her hand. At first I thought, what are we looking at? But look down here. What is going on here? So we got all her fingers up here. What's going on here? That's a filter fail, y'all. Straight up, that is a filter fail. Rainbow cats. Taste the rainbow. From Why You Should Have a Cat. Okay, from Massimo. You know, I love creative people. I do. So I guess this picture was damaged and they're making it look deliberate by like really going all out and adding to the frame to make it look like it's supposed to be like that. So he's just like chiseling away at it, chiseling away. Gonna set it on fire, adding stuff, painting around it to where it's like a laser blast. Like I said, I love creative people. You think your way around a problem. There we go. Set it on fire. Yep. And what does the picture look like? Yep, that's Star Wars. What a great idea. That is how you turn a mistake oops into something creative. Jolie says, I'm sure this is one of the reasons she isn't going live. We all know she prefers live streams and she hates the effort recorded content takes. She doesn't want the questions and being called out for her nonsense. Maybe Chantal is under the impression that if she stays gone long enough, that people will forget about what she did with PayPal and they won't question her on it. But Chantal, this is girl world. We forget nothing. Think about the Cuba rage. We still talk about that. Think about the situation with Scatman. We still talk about that. We are never going to let you forget about anything you ever did. Okay, what else we got here? Are we done? I think we're all caught up. That took a little while. Oh my God. I'm at an hour already. That's okay. The video isn't that long anyway. So let's just stop here. I just want to share that stuff with you guys. And we're going to get into our actual video. Okay, let's go.
Or maybe you just have a pressing question for me you want answered.
Shut up. I take your scammer else, ma'am.
Their vlog.
And we're starting out this vlog with her going through a drive-through. So we're starting out here, going through a drive-through. And I got questions. As someone that I've had hard times and I've been broke, let me tell you something. When you're going through hard times and when you're broke, you do not go through drive-throughs. You do not buy fast food because fast food is expensive. What little bit of money you have in your pocket goes for your bills and it goes for food. Necessary, essential food. You don't do any of this. Yet, didn't she just get online and say, oh, whatever you guys can send, I don't have much money. Look, if she's got money for this right here, she's got money in pocket. She don't need anybody else's money. Do you hear me? She don't need anybody else's money. If she's going through a drive-through and getting iced coffee, which she could make at home for a lot cheaper, it's not that hard. She could go to a grocery store and get a pack of muffins if she's really craving them. She's going through a drive-through. She's got money. Don't listen to Chantal. She tells you she's broke.
So today I have an early appointment, and so I thought I would grab some breakfast at Tim Hortons. So I'm going to grab a everything bagel with cream cheese and some OJ. Tim Hortons has really good OJ, so I find orange juice usually gives me heartburn.
This is ridiculous. Going through a drive-through for orange juice. Why not go to a 7-Eleven or something and get orange juice? While you're there, you can get like a donut and just save yourself a whole bunch of money.
But the one at Tim Hortons usually doesn't hurt my stomach at all.
You're getting fast food. Yes, it's going to hurt your stomach.
In Canada, there's like a Tim's at every corner, I swear. I won't complain about the gas prices. I think I've done that enough. And I'm done complaining, but they are very high. I know.
I don't want to hear it. Don't you sit there and complain about gas prices when you're over there buying fast food. Shut up.
We're all feeling the same pain. So I just put some...
Now, you know what, Chantal? You're trying to make yourself relatable right here. You're trying to relate to the everyday working man or woman. You try to sound relatable, or you're trying to be relatable when you're not. You've been on YouTube for so many years, making easy money, that you are so far removed from reality. You cannot relate to the normal, everyday, hardworking person. You probably can't remember what hard work feels like, what a normal paycheck is like, all the work that goes into it, all the hours you have to put in. But right now, right here, you're trying to say, oh, like, we've all go through it. No, not you. Not you. You can't relate to anything. You wouldn't know what to do with yourself if you had a normal paycheck and you had to make that sucker stretch for 2 weeks.
Gas into my car, and I'm ready to head to my appointment. It was pretty cold and rainy today.
And she's whining. This, again, feeder content. She could have eaten that bagel off camera. Nobody had to see. This is straight up feeder content, y'all. Got to include the food in with a vlog. She doesn't have to, she does. Self-harm content. And here we go. Here's another earmark. Not only is she eating the food, look at the face. She's doing the ecstasy face. Like she's somewhere else right now. It's a bagel. It's a bagel, Chantal. This is not like triple layer, double fudge chocolate cake. It's a bagel. So you're purposely making this face and you really don't mean it. You're faking it for the feeders. Got to make sure she got to film every bite going into her mouth. Girl, don't nobody care what goes into your mouth. Not even you. You don't even care what goes in your mouth. And yeah, it's such a thing to do to be a diabetic and drink orange juice. Diabetes says hi, Chantal.
Now, I know I'm not like a health or fitness guru by any means, and I could be a lot better, but I just enjoy, the nature and going for a walk here and there.
I don't feel that's her walking because she's walking way too doggone fast.
Nothing special.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? This might actually be her. She just sped this footage up. This does not feel like a regular walking gait, especially we've seen how Chantal walks. I think she fast forwarded this footage to make it seem like she was walking faster.
Hey guys, so we're out here just going for a walk, and yeah,
I thought you said you had to go to your appointment.
It's kind of rainy, blew me out, but it's like sprinkling, so it's all right. Looks like a haunted forest or something.
Yep, she definitely did speed it up. Because you guys just saw the flip. She started off where it was normal speed, and then she speeded it up. Sorry for the waddling motion. Chantal, you're a YouTuber, 100K channel. Why can't you get a selfie stick? They're not that expensive.
All right. I walked for about 15 minutes. Now
I doubt that. I didn't see 15 minutes worth of footage. That was like 2 minutes. And that was 2 minutes speeded up. You watched for like 60 seconds.
I'm gonna head back.
I walked for 15 minutes. Prove it. Aren't you always telling us that? Prove it. Prove it. 15 minutes. Prove it. Actually walk for 15 minutes. Prove that you can actually do it, liar. I see a bunch of jump cuts. I don't see 15 minutes worth of footage where she's walking for 15 minutes straight. Look, jump cuts all over the place.
In Kuwait, it was palm trees. Here, it's pine trees or balsam trees. You guys, check out this quote from today's page on my agenda. Very often, change is needed more than change is seen.
Oh, well, I guess. Wait a minute. Wait, what? Stop. I'm already spotting a lie in her planner. Look, health and fitness, walk 30 minutes. She didn't walk 30 minutes. She walked allegedly 15 minutes. So why did she write down walk 30 minutes? She didn't walk 30 minutes. She lying in your journal.
AC Benson. Isn't that true? So since I started
Lies detected in your own planner.
using a planner, like actually using it, I find that it really helps my anxiety. For some reason, I don't know, but I find it like comforting. I have a little evening routine where I like, just wind down, getting PJs, comfy PJs that I got from Pennington's. And I don't think I showed you guys those yet on my pajama set. I'll have to do that. Anyways, and then I just plan for the next day. Some more as I think of for the week, yeah, I'm trying to make and get enough things done. So yeah. And quick health update, alhamdulillah, that I think I'm completely rid of this flu virus. It's not a flu that stays very long. It's like only a few days. So yeah.
You know what, Chantal? I don't think you had the norovirus because something that serious takes a while to dissipate. And you went to the hospital, then the next day you were fine. I'm sorry, no, I don't believe that. Even if you have like just a simple 24-hour flu, like a stomach bug, if you have like one really bad day where you're getting tore up from the floor up, like both ends, the next day you are tired, you are weak, you don't want to go anywhere, like you're recuperating, but you are fine. So I think you are faking the whole norovirus thing. Here's what I think, and a lot of people think this way too. I think that you went ham at the Chinese buffet because every time you go to a buffet, you make yourself sick. Every single time. You'll go to a buffet and then, like clockwork, you end up going to a hospital or going to a clinic because your blood sugar spikes. You did say you're having more B moments in Canada because you're just going wild. You got your car, you got access to everything, and so you're doing everything. I think you went to the hospital because of your blood sugar. You'll spike it all the way up to where it's dangerously high. Then you'll go to the hospital for insulin and fluids and all of that, and then get it down to where it's just enough where you can go back out and act all the way the fool.
I feel 100% better.
Like you are playing a really dumb, dangerous game with your body. You want to be able to eat and have B moments the way you want to. And you think that doctors and nurses and medication and insulin and fluids can just keep things at a level where you can continue the way that you're doing. Ma'am, there's only so much that medication and doctors and nurses and hospitals can do for you. There's only so much they can do in the way of helping you. But if you're not helping yourself, you're flirting with the Grim Reaper.
And yeah, I'm feeling good, so can't complain. Yeah, so actually,
and by the way, guys, I've got the volume all the way up, and for some reason her volume is messed up.
I have a pizza date with my aunt for lunch.
Yeah, let's talk about that. This little pizza date. So her family knows she's got an issue with food, right? They have to know. She did say that they tried to get her into a treatment center years ago. And I'm sure when she came back to Canada and they saw her, they saw how much weight she put on. I mean, that had to be shocking. But here's, your Aunt Phyllis, you're seeing your niece gaining weight like crazy, having trouble breathing, having trouble walking, having trouble finding clothes to fit. And what do you decide to do with that niece? Have a pizza party. What a caring family you have, Chantal. What a caring family.
Lunch, and we are going to get together and make cauliflower crust pizzas. Don't remember what cauliflower crust tastes like or if I've ever had it.
I don't care if it's cauliflower crust. That's still a bad food choice. And I'll tell you why. A cauliflower crust pizza. Why is that not good for Chantal? Is it a healthier option than regular pizza? Yes. But as someone that I've had BED and mine is in recovery, Chantal is someone that she's not even close to being in recovery. She doesn't have any coping mechanisms or coping skills. She's not going to therapy. You guys saw in the beginning of the video where she went. She went to a Tim Hortons and she had the bagel and she had the coffee. And you had to know that she got more than what she was talking about on camera. She probably got a few donuts while she was there. Clearly, she's still indulging in the junk food. But even if she goes to see the aunt and they're doing the cauliflower pizza, because the cauliflower pizza resembles one of her trigger foods, guess what it's going to lead to? She's going to want her actual trigger food. She may eat that cauliflower pizza and then later on decide, you know what? I want the real thing. That bee monster in your head is going to say, I don't want no cauliflower pizza. I want the real thing. Then she's going to go out to Domino's or Little Caesars and get a real pizza. So in the beginning of things, when you're deep into your food problem, if you're trying to avoid your trigger foods, you can't have anything that closely resembles your trigger foods. A little interesting fact, one of the things that I do to make sure that I don't have any moments with food, I won't even burn candles in my house that smell like food. Like anything really sweet that smells like cake or cookies, can't have it. I like the woodsy scents. I like things that smell like anything besides food. I don't even want to get tempted by a candle, the smell of a candle. But so like cauliflower pizza for her, not a good idea. It's all it's going to do is prompt her to go get the real thing later.
I'm not sure, but cute dog running around in the background. I'll show you guys what it turns out to be like and how good it is. There's going to be pineapple on it, but I'm actually kind of craving that. So I don't
She craves everything.
mind. Sometimes I crave it. I know. I'm going to get a like for that. Whatever. All right. Yella. Well, this is just.
I don't even know why she fakes the whole getting healthy thing because it never lasts. In my opinion, this is kind of emotional manipulation for her audience. Those people in her audience that they're hoping that she does one day wake up and decide to get healthy. She feeds them little scraps of hope by doing things like this. Oh, I'm making cauliflower pizza. I'm eating something healthy with the aunt. She'll do this video for those people in her audience that they're sick and tired of watching her destroy herself with food. She throws them a bone. Oh, look, I'm having a cauliflower pizza. Yeah, but then later on, she's going to eat junk food. She's going to do a mukbang for the feedy people and post that on her channel. So there you go. There's your answer. Do you want to know if she's getting healthy? There's your answer right there. Chantal is all about catering to a certain set of people in her audience. She doesn't care about her health. Look at her. She's 500 pounds. She's eating junk food. Her diabetes is out of control. Is this somebody who's taking her health seriously? No, not at all. It's not even a question if she cares about her health or not. She doesn't care. If she did care, she would change her content. She wouldn't cater to those people anymore. Every mukbang, she is saying, I don't care. I'm going to put myself in the grave early. I don't care if I'm shaving years off my life. I want to eat what I want to eat, and I want to make money off of it. And as long as people are there that are going to pay me and enable me, I'm all for it. As long as YouTube allows me to be here, I'm going to use them to get it. She cares about everything but her health.
Just about the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Pretty close. Anyway, there are Canadian geese that are nesting because it is nesting season. And they're
Aw, that's
in
pretty cool because here on the property where I live, there's actually a few Canadian geese that they just like the property. I got a collection of animals on the property. I've got a half feral cat outside that I feed. Her name is Blackie. Then we've got the ducks, like the duck that wakes me up at 6 o'clock in the morning quacking like a rooster. We've got the Canadian geese. We've got a farm next to this property that they've got all kinds of animals like cows and goats and stuff like that. There's all kinds of animals here, birds.
fast food driveways, and some are nesting in parking lots and in places you just wouldn't expect them to. And they just like stay there and they nest and they sit on their eggs.
Maybe the reason why that they're nesting in these unusual places is because they feel safe around people to nest versus in their natural habitat. Maybe they're trying to prevent nesting in a place where there might be natural predators that would attack the eggs.
For a few weeks. Now, one was right in the middle of a, LCBO parking lot, and you see the mother goose nesting, and the male is just standing vigil protecting it. And there's a gate put by the government, by the city, and a sign warning people not to approach it because they can be very protective.
Oh yeah, geese they can get nasty, especially when nesting.
Anyway, it was so cute. And early spring has some beautiful plants and trees.
You know, Chantal, it's such a shame. Canada is glorious. Canada is so vast. There's mountains, there's forests, there's so much to see in Canada, and yet you don't show us anything. How can you be a content creator and live in a place that's content rich and show us nothing?
Budding and the flowers are growing. It's so nice. All right, and here are the small pizzas ready to eat with the cauliflower crust. They look so good. You guys, they're from farm away. They're pre-made. They're gluten-free, and they are like they have a bite and a flavor to them.
The
It's
fact that Chantal's not devouring that tells me she probably didn't like it.
so good. I would eat this again. And a few
You know
hours
what? She
later,
says that about healthy food. She'll show us videos where she's eating healthy food and she'll say, I really, really liked it. But then you'll never see her eat that food again. So, for all the many times she said, I will eat that again, she never eats it again. Why is that? Why is that, Chantal? If you find healthier options and you like them, why don't you eat them again? And why in the world do we have chips over here? Why do you need chips on top of pizza?
for like an evening snack, we have some lime tortilla chips and some garden fresh salsa. All right, guys. So for visuals for this segment of the video, I decided to use a variety of clips. But
Okay, now I know when I was watching this, just to let you know, Chantal is so lazy. This video is 10 minutes and 54 seconds. So we're at the 7-minute, 13-second mark right now. This is where the current content ends. And from here on out, for the next 3+ minutes, she's going to recycle old footage from Kuwait.
I want to talk about wanting to go home. One thing I've been really struggling with the past few times I've come and gone back and forth between Canada and the Middle East.
And this is old footage right here, right now. This is so old. This goes all the way back when she got the henna on her hand. She's recycling old footage. Dang, Chantal, you're so lazy. You can't even do a 10-minute video of current footage.
Is the inability to express my feelings regarding the reasons the trips have been happening. And so I decided to try and organize my thoughts a bit. And here's what I came up with. Number one, of course, there is the obvious. I am chronically impulsive. And yes, it is very annoying. Besides
And this is her trying to act like she cares about her cat, showing Julia.
that, imagine you are who you are, and a big part.
And if she cared about Julia, she would have gotten the cat fixed before she left. Because to this day, Julia has not been fixed. Julia the cat that she took off the street, and we know you took it off the street, Chantal. You didn't get it from somebody. You took it off the street to exploit it for views and for attention and to get under everybody's skin. You're letting her run around unfixed. That poor baby's going to go into heat again. To stop her from going into heat, you got her a shot. But the shot was only good for 6 months. So right about now, she's probably needing either A, another shot, or B, needing to get fixed. You did not get her fixed before you left. Irresponsible.
part of you was shaped by the culture and society you were brought up in. Now imagine that unexpectedly you fall in love and get
Oh,
married and
geez.
spend a
Yeah,
great
you fell in love. He didn't fall in love.
amount of time integrating yourself.
You did not integrate yourself. You're telling so many lies right now. You being in a house, staying away from people is not exactly integrating yourself. How did you integrate yourself when you made a point not to be around anyone except Salah? You decided to go to another country and self isolate and run away from the tax man. You thought that by running all the way over there, you could escape all of your problems. Well, guess what? Some of them still followed you there because, wherever you go, there you are. You got problems in your head, you got problems in your heart, you got problems in your soul. They go with you. And the only way those problems go away is if you unpack that luggage and deal with it, which you refuse to do.
In your new significant other's culture, and that culture deeply embraces the religion you now follow. So you start to feel like this is your home. But
But it's not your home.
there are always things about your first home that you miss, and probably
Yeah. And what do you miss about Canada? You miss the food that you couldn't get in Kuwait. You miss the fact that there are dispensaries in Canada that you couldn't get to in Kuwait. All the things that you missed in Kuwait were things that were bad for you. You missed all the bad things. And you couldn't wait to get back to them because the moment you got off that plane, you were indulging. You want to have your cake and eat it too, literally. You want to be able to be in Canada, be able to eat all the junk food, drive around, maybe do some outhouse visits, have Salah there too. You want it all. But the things that you want are bad, Chantal. They're bad for you. Bad. Very bad.
always will. It's like a tug of war. It all comes down to both countries have pros and cons. Our immediate family now in our seaside apartment. I miss the Middle Eastern culture.
You know what you miss, Chantal? You miss being in an apartment where you are away from your financial debt and worries. You miss that space where you don't have to worry about the tax man catching up to you. Uh, you miss the escape. You used that room as an escape room. But even being in that escape room, you could not escape yourself, and you are the biggest problem.
Heat in the summer is bad, but I will bear it. We will deal with obstacles as they come, and we will do it together. I miss hearing the call to prayer. I never realized before how difficult it is to understand someone's life or decisions without being them, without truly knowing what's going on in their mind and their hearts. But I'm trying my best to explain. In the end, it all comes down to having to pick a place and sticking with it. And I truly, in the deepest crevices of my heart,
No. See,
want.
this is where you're stupid. This is where you need professional help. You need to stop being dumb, Chantal. You don't need to be in Kuwait. Kuwait, it's not Kuwait's fault. Nothing wrong with Kuwait. But you are in a place health wise where it is dangerous to fly. You could have a medical event in the air. And even if you don't, if you got lucky and flew over there and not had a medical event, what if you have a medical event in the place that you have with Salah or the place that you live by yourself? Would you be able to get proper medical care? Do you have the money? I don't think you have much money anymore. The Kuwaiti dinar is much stronger than the Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar is worth, say, 25 cents. To equal one Kuwaiti dinar, you have to pay 5 Canadian dollars. I don't know why you keep saying that things are cheaper over there when they're not. But you don't have free health care over in Kuwait. And given your medical conditions, you need a lot of medical care. A lot. Your health is severe. You do not need to be in another country, away from your family, away from any possible health care or resources. You need to be where you can get those things. You need to put those things first. Stop being so focused on a fake husband and a fake marriage and a fake arc that do not matter. All you care about is saving face with people on YouTube. You're so concerned about saving face in front of strangers versus taking care of yourself. You're a freaking idiot. You're stupid. You are not the smartest person in the room. You're dumb. You're so concerned about your image, your image, your image. Well, your image is ruined. It's not a matter of winning or losing anymore. You've already lost. Now it's just a matter of how much do you want to lose? Are you going to get down to nothing? Absolutely nothing? Nothing to work with? No way to get back up? Or do you want to be smart and save the little bit that you got and find a way to get back up?
Canada and not the other way around. I cannot make those who do not understand why I love the East understand my reasons, so I won't even try, but I do. So all that being said, I really, really, really want to try harder than ever before.
We've heard this before. The time for talk has come and go. Don't tell us what you're going to do. Do it. You're all talk and no action. Don't tell us you're going to get healthy. Just surprise everybody and do it. Put your money where your mouth is. Poo or get off the pot, Chantal. Nobody believes you. Nobody believes your lies. Nobody believes your empty promises. You've let everybody down on your channel so many times that they approach you with a sense of, well, she's talking the talk, but she ain't walking the walk. Start walking the walk. Don't say what you're going to do, just do it. It'll be a pleasant surprise if you do. Stop making promises that you can't deliver, okay?
To do more content over there. More day in the life, more cooking, traveling, shopping, parks, and more.
It's my opinion you shouldn't be doing cooking videos or eating videos. Anything to do with food, just scrap it. Because cooking videos are going to lead to more eating. Mukbangs are going to lead to more eating. You shouldn't be doing anything or being anywhere where your eating issue can be triggered.
I want to travel to many countries.
You're not going to.
Thailand was fun, and I want to live life to the fullest. Or maybe like 2/3 to the fullest. I like doing things, and I also like laying like a seal in my cozy bed with my
Oh, jeez. I like laying like a seal. You're proud of that?
family and doing literally nothing for a while. Honestly, another way I can describe all this is moving back here to Canada. It just doesn't feel like me anymore or who I want to become. And don't get me wrong, Canada is a beautiful country and Canadians are amazing.
You know what, Chantal, you said that moving back to Canada, it doesn't feel like you. I don't think you know who you are anymore. Because over the course of time, you've adapted so many roles. That's not the right word. Let me try to find another one. Like you're like a person in a play. And you're back in the dressing room and you're looking at the rack of clothes and you're trying to decide what outfit you want to put on to portray a certain role, and you just can't make up your mind what outfit you want to put on. You want to do this, you want to do this, you want to do this. You just can't make up your mind what your identity is, what it is that day. And so you try on everything. You want to wear all the outfits. If you went back to Kuwait, you're going to be as miserable as you are now. You're going to be as unhealthy as you are now. You're going to be as sick as you are now. As a matter of fact, if you went back to Kuwait, you're going to get more sick. The summer is coming and it's coming fast and it's going to get hot and you're not going to go outside and you're going to eat more food because you're going to be bored out of your mind with nothing to do. You're going to go stir crazy inside that apartment, and to combat your boredom and the stillness of your life with nothing to do, you will eat more. And if you do that, you're going to get bedbound. And Salah is not going to take care of you. He doesn't know how. As crazy as it sounds, before you did the whole Kuwait thing, you were actually more mobile. You could breathe better. You were more active. You could be more active. Every time you go over there, You're less active, and that's not good for you. You need to be more active, not less.
And it's not anything like that. It just feels like taking 2 steps back in life.
Chantal, if you go back over to Kuwait, you will take 2 steps back. And if you stay over there, you're not going to take any steps at all. You're going to be in bed, unable to walk. Stop effing around. Get your health together if you care. I'm not going to give you any sympathy or compassion to your condition because, as I said in the beginning of this video, everything you've done is done by choice. Even down to the amount of pain that you're in, the amount of pain that you've suffered, that you continue to suffer, it's all a choice. And just as you choose to suffer, you can choose also not to suffer. You don't need diets. You need a complete lifestyle change that you commit to. But the thing is, that would be huge for you. And you don't want to change. You're scared. I think part of you is scared that if you change yourself, that the feeders who give you money, that they'll stop backing you. And then what are you going to do? So you put the money over your health, and that's really stupid. But it's what you choose to do. It's your body. It's your life. You can wreck it or ruin it as you please. If you're going to do this, I just wish you would do it off YouTube. That way nobody else is affected. You know, I'm going to say something and it's going to sound really, really rude. Sorry. But watching Chantal anymore with the way she's conducting herself, it's like watching a snuff film in very slow motion. She is literally unaliving herself little by little by little, and she's not backing away. And the whole thing is, it's sad. It's disturbing. It's upsetting. I wish she would turn the other way, but she's not. She's absolutely not. And that's all her choice.
I've also been through a lot of bad stuff here. I've been through good stuff and bad stuff here.
The stuff that you've been through that was bad, that again was by choice. We can all trace it back to the choices that you decided to make. Anything you dealt with matter, that was by choice. You chose to be around him. All these bad things you talk about, they have to do with you deciding to be around people and put yourself into situations that you could have avoided.
And that's why I am having some counseling while I'm here, because to try to just come to terms with why some of the bad feelings, make me feel the way I do while I'm here. So,
and shut up. So she's pretty much done. What else we got here? So some of the comments from per sub say, can we stop with the elevator music? I agree with that. Lily Summer says there's literally a war breaking out very close to Kuwait. Anything can happen. Why on earth would you go back now? Because of Salah? Because she's just that crazy. She's not thinking about things going on in the world and how dangerous things are. She just wants to be by his side because she can't stand the thought of him going to the Red Room. Amber Lynn Williams says, respectfully, if you loved your husband the way you think you do, you would stay, get healthy, focus on a better you for him. It's really that simple. Why would it be a year? Imagine how much you would accomplish if you poured all the love you give into yourself. You would be unstoppable. Yeah, like all the things she'll focus so hard on a man, but not on herself. If she put even half the attention on herself that she does on a man, what the changes she could make for herself. E. Kim says, give an inch so you can have a mile. You talk so much about what you want to do, but seriously, a trip from one country to another is too much for you. Give a little bit of time and effort so you can enjoy that 2/3 of the time of living life to the fullest. So many want to support you. So many here to cheer you out. Yeah, and she takes advantage of that. She takes advantage of the people that are her subs, that do believe in her, that have hope for her. She's taking advantage of all of you, feeding you scraps, keeping you hopeful, but not really doing what she could do on her end to better herself. Like I said, maybe one day you'll wake up to how scammy she is. Let's see. Uh, Angela says, I don't think a lot of us can take another spin. I personally think if you go back to Kuwait, you are just going to hurt yourself more because you don't get out and it's going to summer and you will just sit by your window and eat and eat. Besides that, Salah doesn't even want to do any videos with you anymore. I don't think he cares for you and you need health wise. You need to stay in Canada and get your health taken care of, which you didn't even mention that in your video. Healthcare better for you in Canada. Well, that was a lot. But you're right. She needs to take care of herself. She's not though. Rachel says, don't go back to Kuwait. Yeah, she shouldn't go. Looking. So that's some of the comments. So I'm just going to cut it off here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. I've got some research and some homework to do about the people that I mentioned, especially the one in particular that I really want to cover. So I'm going to cut this off now and start doing some homework and some backstory stuff on this person. And I'll let you guys know when I put everything together. So hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.